blocks. You can take any comfortable seat that works for you. And so take a moment to get settled. And once you are in your seat, let your shoulders draw down and relax away from the ears and gently close your eyes. Just start to notice the energy in your body this morning. Notice where your thoughts are right now and what your mood is like. And consider what it is that you need from a yoga practice today. Perhaps setting a small goal for yourself, something to be mindful of throughout our posture and breath practice. And take a moment to briefly scan through your own body, just going through from head to toe, noticing if there are any areas that are being held or that feel tense right now in this seat. And if so, just try and gradually let that dissipate the next time that you exhale. And start to notice the movement of your own breath cycle. Noticing where you feel your body expand each time you inhale. And where you contract each time you exhale. And over the course of the next few breaths, start to consciously slow down the speed of your inhalation, taking more time to fill the lungs and expand around the upper body. And more time to release the breath, slowly contracting as you exhale completely. So allowing your breath to just wash in and out of the body like a gentle wave, settling into a steady, even rhythm that you can maintain throughout our practice this morning. Take 5 more deep breaths here. And after those 5 breaths, you can float your eyes open. On an inhalation breath, reach your arms up and over your head, glancing up. Then exhale, twist to your left, splitting the arms open. The left arm's gonna wrap around your low back, and the right hand's gonna cross here outside of the knee. And just gently press against the knee here for this seated twist. Each time that you inhale, think a little more up through the spine. And each time you exhale, a little more rotation. You can bring that rotation into the neck as well by turning your head over your left shoulder. Take one more breath in and exhale, let the whole pose release. Good, again, inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to your right, wrapping the right arm around the back. Left hand's gonna cross to the outside of the right knee. And again, find that lift up through the spine as you breathe in and the rotation as you breathe out. And try and rotate your head to look over the right shoulder. And the next time you exhale, gently release the twist. Good, once more, we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Now we're gonna exhale, put the left hand down and start to lean over to the left side. You're gonna bend down into that elbow and reach the right arm over your face, away from the hip. Big lateral stretch. Feel your inhalation expand into that side, creating more space between the ribs. And let the exhalation help contract more into the left side. The next time you inhale, push down against your left hand, lift yourself up. We're gonna go right to the other side. Exhale the right hand down, bend into that elbow as you lean over, reaching that left arm over your face, away from the hip. The next time you inhale, push against the ground to lift up, and exhale, release the arm. Good, you can come off of whatever you were sitting on and put that aside off your mat. And we're gonna sit with the feet about as wide apart as the mat and support with the hands behind your back here. We're gonna just warm up the hips by dropping the knees back and forth from side to side. And let this freely rotate the pelvis. And the next time that your knees drop to the left side of your mat, they can stay down there. Come off of your right hand and take another twist to the back of the mat, spacing the palms about shoulder width apart and pushing against the floor to help you rotate from the lumbar spine all the way up. Nice, deep, steady breath, feeling your lower abdominals release each time you inhale, and then strongly contract each time you exhale to help bring more rotation into the pose. Last breath in. As you exhale, unwind. Take that right hand behind you and pick the knees up. Other side, knees drop to the right. You're gonna come off your left hand and twist to the back of the mat. And again, space your hands about shoulder width apart, and the more you press down against the ground, the more leverage you have to twist. You can control the intensity in that way. One more deep breath in. Exhale, unwind, coming out of the twist. Good, let's cross the ankles in front of you and lean forward. Place the palms down, step your knees back into table. We're gonna plant the palms shoulder width apart and adjust your knees about hip width apart. On an inhalation breath, lift the tailbone, chest and chin, looking forward or up. Exhale, drop the tailbone, tuck the chin and round the spine. Again, inhaling and exhaling. So continue back and forth here in both of these directions, moving through spinal waves. And the next time that you exhale through the rounded spine, that can be your last one. And then inhale, return to neutral. We're gonna come into a balance here by reaching the right leg back, extending all the way through to the heel, and then the left arm forward. Find one long line from the fingertips to the foot, and press down strongly against your right palm. 5 breaths here. One more deep breath in, and exhale, release. Other side, send your left leg behind you, Right arm out in front. One long line. One more breath in. And exhale, release. From here, extend your arms out in front of you. And on an exhalation breath, let your chest, armpits, and head move down toward the floor for a half down dog. The hips are going to stay right in line over the knees. And your toes can be pointed or tucked under, whatever's more comfortable here. Each time you exhale, feel your spine pull more deeply into the body, especially in your upper back. So there's no rounding there. Nice long extension. Take 3 more breaths. And on your next breath in, lift your head up and walk your hands back under the shoulders. Good. From here, walk your knees half a foot back and bring the legs together. We're going to do a little coordinated movement with the breath here to warm up the shoulders. On an exhalation, bend the elbows back and lower down to the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, hips to the heels for child's pose. So we're going to do that a few more times. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over the palms. Exhale, slowly lower. Squeeze the shoulders together. Inhale, press up. Exhale, drop back. So take that at least 3 more times with your own breath. Keep your core strong as you lower down, but especially when you press back up, drawing the navel in to support the lower back. The next time that you lower yourself down, we're going to stay there. Once you're down, squeeze the legs together, point your toes, squeeze your shoulders back. We're going to inhale, roll up to a low or a high cobra. Exhale, roll back down. Twice more. Inhale, rolling up to cobra. Exhale, let it go. Once again, inhale, exhale, let it go. Tuck your toes and inhale, press back up to the knees. Exhale, send your hips back, then lift the knees and hips for our first downward facing dog. You can adjust yourself if you need to on your mat. Let the feet be just a few inches apart. And if the hamstrings are feeling a little tight, we haven't really stretched them yet, you can bend the knees here as you focus mostly just on extending the spine and arms. Allow your head to release. Can you minimize that window? Allow your head to release, letting your neck relax down. And press as strongly through your palms as you can. Three more deep breaths here. On your next breath in, look forward. As you exhale, walk your feet up to the front of the mat. We're going to hang here in a forward fold. Slightly bend the knees and let your arms and shoulders just hang down. Go ahead and turn the head a few times, making sure that the neck is nice and loose. And try and feel the pose evenly across the whole surface area of your feet here. So notice if you're tending to hang back more in the heels or if you're really gripping with the toes. See if you can find a nice even spread through the feet. Good. From here, put your hands against your shins. We're going to inhale to the flat back position, extending the arms and the spine. Exhale and fold down again. Twice more. Inhale, get as long as you can. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale. Exhale, let it go. On an inhalation breath, reach the arms up and come all the way to stand. And exhale, release. I'm going to talk you through a few rounds of sun salutations. You're going to come to the front of the mat if you're not quite there. Beginning here in mountain pose, just nice open standing posture. On an inhalation, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, walk back to plank pose. Take a deep breath in here in plank. Exhale, slowly lower to the floor. You can feel free to drop your knees if you need. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, push up to the knees or plank. Exhale, lift back and adjust for downward facing dog. Let your head and neck release down and take 5 deep breaths here. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, release. Second time through. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lift back. Take a few moments to adjust the pose and then settle into stillness here. One more deep breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. Once more through. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, walk to plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lift back. Take 5 deep breaths here. I'm just going to adjust something on my screen. All right. One more deep breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, release. We're going to take one round of Sun Series B. You're going to stand with your feet together. In this series, we add chair pose and warrior one to the sequence. We're starting with chair. Inhale, bend the knees, sitting back and extending the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lift back. From here, we're going to raise the right leg up. Inhale. Exhale, step that foot all the way up in between the hands. If it doesn't make it in one step, just help it forward. And then look at your back foot. We're going to move it over to the left slightly, then put the heel down. Inhale, come up to warrior one. Take a few moments to settle here. Try and really lift and energize the back leg as you get low in the front leg and rotate the upper body forward. One more breath in. Exhale, release the hands. Lift your back heel and step up to downward facing dog. And adjust your feet. Take a moment to settle. Then on your next breath in, raise the left leg up. Look forward. Exhale, step that foot through. Good. Adjust if it doesn't make it. You're going to move your right foot over to the right slightly. Then heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Feel that back knee lift, quadriceps fully engaged, and rotating the upper body forward. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release. This time we're going to plank. Lift your back heel, step your left leg back. Take a deep breath in plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lift back. Take 5 deep breaths here in downward facing dog. One more breath in, look forward. Exhale, step to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Let's bring the feet together for chair pose. Bend the knees deeply. Inhale, extend the spine and arms. Exhale, stand and release. Gently close your eyes and just stand to your mountain pose, noticing how you feel in your body. And try and slow down the speed of your breath, which is going to help bring the heart rate down. And once the breath feels calm again, you can float the eyes open. From here, we're going to set up for triangle pose. So if you've got blocks and you'd like to use them, we're going to take them on the right side of the mat toward the front. And you can stack them whatever height you would normally use for the pose. We're going to step the right foot forward slightly ahead of the blocks. And then a big step back with your left foot. And then keep going. I want you to increase the space so that it's about as wide apart as your warrior poses. Warriors 1 and 2. And then for the alignment of the feet, just draw an imaginary line from the front heel all the way to the middle of the back arch. That's going to get the hips in a good alignment. We're going to open the arms out to the side and then get really strong and active through the legs. We've got a 2-part sequence to enter the pose. First is letting the hips rock back. Second is leaning the upper body forward as far as you can. And then we pivot the arms, finding triangle. The right hand comes down on the blocks or your ankle or shin. Left arm reaching up. Good. Settle into your breath here. And just take a few moments to notice how your lower back feels. If there's a lot of arch happening in your lower back, you want to rein that in a little by tucking your tailbone forward so we don't put pressure in the lower back. And if looking up at your left thumb does not work for your neck, choose a different focal point. Let's take a few more breaths here. Again, keeping the legs really active by squeezing the quads, extending the knees. And then we're going to engage the core. The next time you inhale, lift yourself back up. Good, let's bend the right knee deeply for warrior 2. So theoretically, the stance here should have been the same, but if you need to adjust your feet either wider or closer, go ahead. Try and get a nice deep bend in the front knee, and just check that that thigh is tracking straight forward, that it's not dropping in or out from the alignment of the hip. Good, steady, stable breath. We're going to take a little movement here between this pose and reverse warrior two. On an inhalation, reverse the arms, reaching up with the right. Exhale, lean back, deep side stretch. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, warrior two arms. Let's do that again. Inhale, reverse the arms. Exhale, lean back for the side stretch. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, warrior two. Last time. Inhale, change the arms. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, take away the lean. Exhale, warrior two. Good, look down at the ground. We're gonna cartwheel the hands on either side of the front foot. Lift that back heel up and gently lower this knee to the floor. Good, sink down into the hips for your low lunge. Take a few moments just to settle into the breath. If you had the blocks outside of the leg for a triangle, you can move them out of the way or already bring them to the left side for when we get into that in a few moments. And we're going to keep the hips nice and low here. On your next breath in, reach the arms forward and up, finding balance in crescent lunge. Nice deep stretch for the psoas on the left side. Feel yourself lift up out of the lower back. Feel the rib cage and chest lift. And maybe glide the shoulder blades back slightly, arching the upper back. The next time you exhale, release. Take the hands down. We're going to lift the back knee off the ground. Plant your palms and just reach up and back to down dog. Once you're in down dog, alternate bending one knee deeply and reaching the opposite heel down toward the floor. Just kind of pedaling out the legs and really let your hips kind of rock side to side as you do that to help release from that sequence. Good. From here, look forward, take a deep breath in. Exhale, walk to the front of the mat. Take the hands against the shins. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward bend. Let's hold on to the elbows here, crossing at the forearms, and just let your spine decompress. Let the back of the neck release. 5 breaths here in your forward fold. And we're going to let go of the elbows. Let the arms dangle down, bend the knees a bit more, and engage your core as you slowly roll up through ragdoll, coming all the way to stand. Good. Once you're standing, take a moment to let that change in blood pressure happen, and then we'll set up for triangle pose on the left side. So I'm actually going to turn around so you can still see the front view. The blocks are going to go on the left side of the mat, and your left foot will step slightly ahead of those blocks if you're using them. Big step back with the right foot. And then keep going, just kind of inch that foot farther back until you've got the spacing for a warrior pose, but with the legs straight. And we've got that alignment of heel to arch. Good. Engage the legs strongly and open the arms out to the side. And then that 2-part entry, the hips rock back, part 1. Upper body leans forward, part 2. Then we pivot the arms for triangle pose. Good, nice deep, steady breath. And if you're feeling like the hamstring on your front leg, your left side, is really resisting the pose, just put a tiny bend in the knee, or don't go down as low, or a combination. Good, if you feel any pressure in your lower back, tuck the tailbone a little so there's not extra arching. And choose one focal point that works for your neck. It may be the same on this side, but it might be different. Good, engage your core strongly. We're gonna inhale, lift back up. Good, exhale, bend deeply into your left knee for warrior two. And if you need to make any adjustment of the feet, go ahead. Feel that long line as the spine lifts up. Actively reach the arms apart. And then we'll take that movement with the breath between here and reverse warrior. Inhale, just reverse the arms, reaching up. Exhale, lean back into reverse warrior two. Inhale, take the lean away. Exhale, warrior two arms. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, lean back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, warrior two. Last time with your own breath. And once you've returned to warrior two, look down. We're going to cartwheel the hands to either side of the foot. Lift that back heel up and gently lower the knee to the floor. Take a few moments to release down into this low lunge. You can move your blocks off the mat if they were there. And from here, the next time you inhale, we're going to come up to crescent lunge. Draw the spine back over the hips, reaching up through the arms, and start to feel that upward energy come from the lower back all the way up the spine. Shoulder blades back, little arch here. The next time you exhale, gently release. Lift your back knee up off of the ground, plant your palms, and step up and back to downward facing dog. And adjust your palms if you need to. You want them shoulder width apart. Press strongly against the mat and extend. Let's go ahead and bend each knee a few times, reaching the opposite heel down toward the floor. And really let your hips rock side to side as you do this. And then from here, gently lower the knees to the floor. And we're going to take child's pose. Knees a little wider than the hips. Point your toes and sit back on the heels. Let your forehead come down, and if it doesn't meet the floor, you can stack your fists on top of each other or place a block there. And let's let the shoulders and arms completely relax, so adjust them wherever you need to. And gently close the eyes here. Just check in with yourself. Notice how you feel at this point. Try and slow down your breathing again. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, lift your head, walk your hands in, and we're going to bring the knees together here and just sit back on the heels. If this is not a comfortable place for you to sit, either because of the knees or the ankles, you can take any other type of cross-legged seat. So just take a moment here upright to find nice tall alignment in the spine, let the shoulders relax. And then we're going to clasp the hands behind the back, or you can use a strap here if the hands don't connect. We're going to roll the shoulder blades and elbows together, and then extend the elbows by reaching the fists down toward the floor. And just feel the collarbones widen and the chest open here. And then if you're able to, start to slowly lift the arms up away from your hips. Notice if there's any change in the posture. You want to try and stay as upright as possible, keeping the head in line over the rest of the spine. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Good, you can let go of the hands. We're gonna come forward and back to downward facing dog just for a moment to be able to get ourselves upright to stand. Once you are here, we're gonna walk the hands back to the feet, ending up in a forward fold toward the back of the mat. Once you get there, again, bend the knees a little bit, hold on to your elbows, and just let your spine decompress down over the legs. Maybe shake the head yes and no a little bit, making sure that the neck is nice and loose. 5 breaths here in your fold. And let go of the elbows, let the arms dangle down. Again, bend the knees, draw your navel in to support the core as you roll up through ragdoll, all the way upright to stand. Again, once you're standing, take a moment to let that shift in blood pressure happen. And then from here, we're going to work on a standing balance posture. So you probably need a strap for this one. If you don't have a strap or a belt right now, maybe take time to find something that'll work for you. And if balance is tricky for you, you might want to move yourself closer to a wall. So for those of you who come to my class often, this is the hamstring sequence that we often do lying down on the back. We're going to do this standing with a strap. So I'm going to stand on my left leg first, and I want to make sure that that foot is lined up underneath the hip, that it's not turned in or out, which can affect the balance. You're going to bring your right knee up toward you and just slip the base of the strap or whatever you're using down around the foot, and then gather that knee in closer to your upper body. You're going to hold the strap in the right hand only inside of the leg, not outside, and then just stand here upright for a moment. Feel your lower back engaged to help extend that part of your spine, and feel your core strengthen. Your abdominals are going to be contracted slightly here. Once you feel steady, we're going to press the foot forward against the strap to extend the leg. And take a moment, if the hamstring resists, just let your hands slide on the strap a little bit and lower the leg. Try and find one focal point to concentrate on. Good, and keep the grip on the strap super tight as we take the first variation, opening the right leg out to the side. Good, steady breath. The next time you exhale, let's bring the leg back to the front. Change hands. Left hand's going to reach for the strap. Right arm can come to the waist, or if you have space behind you, you can reach the arm all the way back. We're going to take a gentle twist. Rotate your navel to the right, then your rib cage, your chest, maybe even turning your head to look over your right shoulder. Good, take out the twist, face forward if you're still with me. Bend this knee in toward you, and then remove the strap. Good work, everybody. Shake it out a little bit, just let that one go. It's pretty intense. So let's try the other side. Standing on the right foot, make sure it's aligned under your hip. Bring your left knee up toward you, and just place that strap around the ball of the foot. Gather it in, so that you're holding the strap with the arm inside of the knee. Once you have it, stand upright and just find your balance here. And then whenever you're ready, press the foot forward against the strap to extend the leg, stretching the hamstrings. A deep, steady breath, really tight grip on the strap. And then let's try and open the leg out to the side. Take your time here. Really squeeze every muscle in the outer right hip. Engage your core. Good, everybody. Slowly return the leg to the front. Reach forward with the right hand. Grab that strap. Left hand can come to your waist or reach back. And then little twist. Navel, rib cage, and chest rotates to the left. Good, everybody. If you're still with me, rotate forward, bend the knee toward you, remove that strap. Great work. Let's bend the knees a little bit, kind of shake the hips out. Let's keep this strap. We're going to use it for a shoulder opening. We're going to take a wide-legged forward bend. So come back to your mat if you move to a wall. Space your feet about as wide apart as a warrior two pose. Both toes or big toes turned in toward each other a little bit, heels slightly turned down. Let's take that strap in between the hands behind the back, or if you're comfortable clasping the hands, you can do that as well. We're going to extend the arms behind you to open the chest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, send the hips back, upper body forward through flat back position, and then release the head and shoulders as the arms gently lift up. Try and keep the neck loose, allowing your head to completely drop. And keep the legs active by squeezing the quadricep muscles, pressing strongly against the big toe knuckle. We're going to stay down in the forward bend. The next time you exhale, release the arms. You can put that strap down if you were using it and take your hands to the floor or your blocks if the hands don't meet. From here, we're going to come to the flat back position. Inhale, lift the chest and walk the hands forward so they're under your shoulders, lengthening your spine. And you should again feel that change in blood pressure as the intensity comes out of the head. Just take a few breaths here with the spine nice and long. And then we're going to take a twist. Left hand's going to stay down underneath your face. Right hand comes to the waist as you rotate from the navel, rib cage, and chest, and then extending that arm up. Take 3 more breaths here. And exhale, release the twist. Find that flat back position and your right hand will stay there. Left hand comes to the waist as you rotate all the way up the spine and eventually extend the arm up. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release the twist. Look over toward whichever foot is facing your screen here. We're going to walk the hands toward that front side of your mat, rotate that foot forward and end up in a lunge position. Once you're in that lunge, plant the palms and just step out of the lunge to down dog. This will be our last time here in down dog. Spread the fingers as widely apart as you can. Really press against the mat to extend the arms, extend the shoulders and spine, and let your chin move toward the chest. As the hips lift up, see if you can let your heels draw down a bit more now that we've really stretched the hamstrings quite a bit. See how much length you can get through the legs in this pose. Take 3 more deep breaths. And with your last exhalation, bring the knees to the floor. We're going to take child's pose again, this time with the legs together if you like that variation. Point the toes and sit back on the heels, wrapping one and then the other arm around the legs here. Once you're in the pose, let your shoulders melt apart and sink down toward the floor. You can close the eyes and take 5 to 10 breaths here. And then from here, take your hands in front of the knees and just lift yourself up away from the legs. Okay, we're gonna work on one back bending posture this morning called camel pose. If you have a thin mat, I recommend taking the front of the mat and folding it up once or twice so that you have a little bit of extra support for your knees. And I'll show you 2 versions of the pose. One of them does not involve touching the heels, so if you're concerned about putting that much bend in your lower back or you just can't reach the feet, you can still do this pose in our first version. So you're gonna be kneeling with the hips right in line over the knees here. And I generally tuck my toes under if I'm gonna reach for the heels just because it brings the floor that much higher to you. You're gonna take your thumb and index finger and join them at your sacrum so that your fingers fan out on either side of the hips. And before we lean back, I just want you to glide your shoulder blades and elbows close together so that your chest stays nice and open. And then we're going to tuck the tailbone down so there's less arch in your low back. You should already feel stretch in front of the hips and the quads. And then you're going to start gently pressing the hips forward in space as you lean your shoulders back in space. And make sure you're still able to breathe. And this can be it for you. You can stay right here. We're doing camel pose, great back bend. If you feel comfortable trying to reach the feet, take one hand for the heel and then the other. If the other doesn't reach, however, you can do this one arm at a time. And the second time we come to the pose, you can try it with the other hand. Right, if you have both of your heels, just check the hip position. We want them to still be forward over the knees. So press them forward even as the shoulders are drawing back. Just feeling that arch move up the spine, nice and open across the chest. Good, if you have yet to come out, take your hands back to the hips if they were on the feet, and then slowly lift the sternum up, straightening the spine, and then we can sit down on the heels for a moment, or you can stay there. Just take a few breaths to relax, let the shoulders release. We're going to try that just one more time. So finding that kneeling position again. If you did just one arm, prepare to reach for the foot with the other arm this time. So hands at the sacrum, we're going to tuck the tailbone down, squeeze the shoulders and elbows back, and then you're pressing your hips forward in space as you're leaning your shoulders back in space. It's nice and easy, no rush to get into it. And then one or both hands reaching for the heels or keeping your hands at the sacrum the whole time. And if you're still here, bring the hands back to the hips, lift up from your sternum, slowly taking out the bend, and sit back on the heels for a moment. Good, let your shoulders relax, just take a few breaths to let the heart rate come down. All of our back bending postures are really physically energizing, and so especially with a deep back bend like that, you'll probably notice that your heart rate comes up quite a bit. Once the heart and breathing rate feels calmer again, you can undo the mat if you folded it up. And we're just going to take a lateral child's pose. So you're going to lean forward, but not all the way down. We're going to walk the hands over to the left side, creating a C curve in the spine, and then fold down the rest of the way. Should feel a nice long stretch down the right side from the armpit all the way to the hip. And on an inhalation, lift your head and chest, walk your hands through the center, and then over to the right. And create that C curve in the spine as you lower down. And then inhale, lift yourself up. Good. All right, we're going to take a few seated poses. I like to elevate my hips off the floor for these poses, so I'm going to use my 2 blocks side by side. If you have a folded blanket or something else that you like to sit on, go ahead and gather what you like for support. And we're going to start with seated bound ankle pose. So once you're sitting, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees out to the sides. And hold either your ankles or tops of the feet, whatever you can comfortably reach. And we're just going to build length in the spine before we fold. So just sitting upright, feel your spine draw in, feel the collarbones open. And take several deep breaths here. And start to actively squeeze the muscles in your outer hips and glutes to help open the knees a bit wider. And then if you'd like to come forward, we're going to bring the chin down toward the chest and then pull against the ankles or feet wherever you're holding, just to help initiate the forward bend, letting the spine come out over the feet little by little. If the elbows meet the inner thighs, you can gently press there. But try and keep the shoulder blades down away from your neck. The next time that you inhale, let's slowly lift upright, and we'll bring the knees back together. Let's keep the left knee here and straighten the right leg forward down on the mat. And just hold the front of the knee or shin to help you sit up really tall. We're going to come into a seated twist from here. You're going to hold this knee with the right hand to keep it close to you. Inhale and raise your left arm up. And then pull against the knee to help you rotate, and then put the left hand down behind you. You can turn your head as well, looking somewhere over the left shoulder. And you can also bring the knee into the bend of the elbow if that gives you a little more leverage to twist, or you can cross the elbow to the outside of the knee and gently press against it. And that can give you a bit deeper of a rotation, especially in the middle part of the back, the thoracic portion of the spine. Let's take one more deep breath in. Exhale and release your twist. Good. Switch sides. Left leg's going to extend in front of you. Bend your right knee and hug the shin, sitting up tall. You're going to hold that knee with the left hand. Right arm's going to reach up, and then exhale, pull against the knee as you rotate and put the hand down behind you. Good. Keep the breath nice and deep here, even though we're winding down. Still want that active, deeper breath to help assist with this twist. And again, you can bring the knee into the bend of the elbow if that works, or cross the elbow to the outside of the knee. One more deep breath in. Exhale and release your twist. Okay, let's extend both legs out in front of you. We're going to take a seated forward fold. So if you've got that strap handy still, you're going to throw it around the balls of the feet and hold on to it with a nice tight grip and sit up tall. All of our forward bends actually start as extensions. So we always begin by lifting and extending the spine. Let your shoulder blades draw down away from the ears. A couple of breaths here. And if we're going to the forward bend, bring the chin toward the chest. Start to pull against your strap to guide the spine down over the legs. And then re-extend the arms. If you've got a lot of strap left, keep using it. If you're at your feet, you can use those instead. And if at any point you have discomfort here in your lower back, just bend the knees. That's probably a sign that the hamstrings are on the tighter side, and that can make forward bends a little bit challenging for your back. Take at least 5 more breaths here. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, inhale and slowly lift upright. Good, you can get rid of the strap if you're using it. I'm going to have you come down off of whatever you were sitting on. And we're going to transition to the back, so you can move that out of the way and carefully lower yourself to the floor. Once you are down on the mat, just bend the knees and place the feet underneath the knees for a moment and let your spine and ribcage settle into the floor. Just take a few breaths here. You can close your eyes if you like. Just notice if there are any muscles that are still active or holding in the lower back. Just let those melt away the next time you exhale. And from here, we're going to take reclined pigeon pose. Cross your right ankle to your left thigh and press the right knee forward away from your face. If this is already enough opening in the hip, you can stay here. If you want a bit more, there's 2 phases that we can take next. First is bring the legs in and reach through the gap to hold the back of your left thigh. So that's bringing the pigeon leg, this right one, a little bit closer to the upper body. Right? Or another variation of this pose is to hold the pigeon leg with your hands. So I'm going to take my left hand to the foot, my right hand outside of the knee, and let my left leg straighten down on the mat. So if you imagine the regular folded pigeon pose that we do facing the mat, this is just flipping that all the way around so that you're doing it on the back. So the right knee is slightly angled out to the side, and the right heel is drawing in toward your abdomen. And if this is too much, either for the hip or the knee, you can return to the first 2 phases of the pose, whichever one felt best. Take one more deep breath in. And then exhale, very gently let go of the foot or uncross the ankle if you were in one of the first versions, and release the right leg to the floor. And just take a moment there to let that hip and thigh relax. Notice how the right side feels compared to the left. And then for the left side, we're gonna start with both knees bent. Take the left ankle to the right thigh. Press that knee forward away from you. So this is phase one. You can stay here. Or phase two, bring the legs in, reach through and hold the back of the right thigh. And you can stay here if that's strong enough. Or take the pigeon leg, right hand on the foot, left arm around the outside of the knee, and then slide your right leg down on the mat. So full reclined pigeon. Nice, deep, smooth breath here. One more inhalation. And exhale, gently release the pose and let that leg slide down in front of you. And let your arms relax down by your sides. Adjust your legs so they're a little bit wider apart than hip width. And gently close your eyes. Take a few moments to let your whole body relax here. And notice how you're feeling in your lower back. And if you're not quite comfortable or you'd rather use some props to support the body or put on any extra layers of clothing to stay warm, you can go ahead and gather whatever you need to be more comfortable for Shavasana. We're going to spend the next few minutes here resting on the back. And once you are comfortable and settled, if you made any adjustments, gently close your eyes. And we're all going to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let that be a gesture to your body to let go of the deep breathing practice now at this point. Feel your jaw and your throat relax, and allow your natural breath quality to return to the body. And just briefly scan through your body from head to toe, noticing if there are any areas of holding or active energy still. And if that's something you are aware of, just keep your attention on that point and see if with a few slow exhalations, that area in the body can relax. Slowly bring your attention back to the surface and lengthen your breath. And in your own time, begin to move a little bit through the fingers and the toes, just gently waking up the body here. Maybe reaching the arms overhead in a full body stretch. And then we'll bend the knees and gently hug both of the knees into your upper body and wrap the arms around your legs. And just rock a little bit here side to side, massaging your lower back. And then we're going to carefully roll over to one side of the body into a fetal pose. Just pausing there briefly to notice how you're feeling. You can support your head with one of your arms. And then keeping the eyes closed, press yourself upright to find a comfortable seated posture. And just take a moment there, once you're sitting, to feel your spine lift and lengthen again. And start to breathe more deeply, letting the inhalation phase expand to help energize the body. And we'll end our practice chanting Om one time. You can bring the palms together in front of the heart. Take a deep breath in. Om. Exhale and gently bow your head, acknowledging yourself for making time and space to practice this morning and expressing gratitude to your own body. Thank you all so much for practicing with me.